Ad Astra, my fellow space exploration enthusiasts, welcome to another weekly space update. It's very important because NASA just launched the PACE satellite to study the Earth's oceans, air, and climate. And like I always say, the climate is very important. This El Nino is causing a lot of disturbance as it has in the past years that it has occurred, but the severity of climate, of weather, because local climate is called weather, is going up or going down and having extreme reactions to what is going on all over the globe because we are causing a change in what the earth behaves like. All right. So you do want to make sure that you want to leave as little a carbon footprint as possible, especially when you go to fragile ecosystems like the Himalayas or other pristine natural environments in the world. Do check out our Leh Ladakh playlist so that you come to know what I'm talking about when I say zero impact travel is the way to go. What that means is very simple. You basically don't leave any trash or any uh, waste material behind when you visit places. Just have a small plastic bag or receptacle to collect all the trash that you create or your entire traveling party creates, and dispose of it responsibly. Even at the local restaurant where you're eating food, you can just take out the plastic bag or wherever you are storing your trash and ask them to dispose it in a garbage bin so that it gets collected and recycled or used up in the way garbage is meant to be used up. And uh, what happens is, if you don't do that, that plastic is going to stay there for thousands of years, and over such a long period of time, we are going to be done and dusted. But it's going to create problems for future generations, like my little baby daughter Advitya, who I hope will explore space and take us forward. But with high hopes for the future, let's move ahead in this space update. Okay, NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab is laying off 8% of its workforce. Now, this is, of course, reported as always by space.com, which I refer to. I have subscribed to their emails, so you are most welcome to do the same because they deliver a very good amount of information in a very small amount of time through their emailers, and I really appreciate them for doing that. So huge shout out to space.com. At the same time, I will say join the Planetary Society, which was started by Carl Sagan and is being carried on by Bill Nye the Science Guy. Big Bang Theory and young Sheldon fans will know that Bill Nye the Science Guy is of course a luminary in the field of physics, and it's a very noble cause. The Planetary Society, of course, is our way, humanity's way of saying that we are going to be responsible in the way that we explore space. All right, the solar maximum is coming, but we won't know 7 months after it has happened. This is the kind of time scale that you have to deal with in astronomy because even when NASA and other space agencies like my country's ISRO and JAXA and ESA, when they plan their space missions, they have to plan months and sometimes years and sometimes even decades in advance to make sure that when the tiny little spacecraft that we launch from our little blue planet, from our blue marble, it's going to coincide with where it's going to, with its target, with where the target is going to be. So it's very important. And the recent missions on DART and the recent OSIRIS-REx mission, which returned a sample from an asteroid to Earth, these missions showcase how pinpoint accurate our calculations and our instruments have to be to make sure that we get the required results from our experiments, because these are after all experiments. And I will point you into the direction of Chandrayaan 2, which sort of bailed, and Japan's moon sniper Slim, which landed on its nose. Just to give you a couple of examples, recent examples, which show you how hard it is, even when we are just aiming for the moon, which is so close to us, to be very precise and to get everything right. Okay, but moving on, it's Space TV in episode 96 of William Shatner is the one who is starring in this. The Unexplained with William Shatner. And once again, Bill Nye, Mr. Wizard, and the original Billy. Okay, so they've misspelled Bill Nye a little bit. But I think, like I said, you want to check out space.com for the deep insights into space exploration right now. What I try and do is I try and give you an overview of what is happening in humanity's search beyond our planet every week. Lava from Iceland volcano has been spied from space, and Sierra Space has unveiled the Dream Chaser space plane. I hope these things will encourage the younger generation who might see this at a later date, maybe years or decades in the future, to dig deeper, like I said, into space exploration and to expand outwards, of course. And ingenuity. Oh, this is something that actually touched something close to my heart, because I had sent my name on the chip that had gone with the Perseverance rover, and NASA has retired the Ingenuity helicopter, which has been flying around on Mars. And the Perseverance rover actually took a photograph of Ingenuity at its final resting place, shall we say. Uh, so that was something a little sad, because Ingenuity provided a lot of data and a lot of insight into how we will travel when we go to, not moon, because it doesn't have an atmosphere thick enough to support air travel. It'll have to be propulsion. So propulsion would mean that you vertically take off and you vertically land at another place. But Mars has an atmosphere thick enough for helicopters like Ingenuity to fly in the air. And NASA wants to fly, talking about flying, another 1 year astronaut mission like Chris Hadfield, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just make sure that. Yep, I think Chris Hadfield is the one. And the good part about Chris Hadfield is that he is a twin, so they could actually monitor, uh, how he went through the Canadian space program and got to be the person to spend the longest amount of time in space. But moving on from that, NASA wants to fly another 1 year astronaut mission, but when will it happen is the subject line of my space.com emailer. SpaceX, of course, keeps on breaking record after record. Elon Musk is doing all he can to get to Mars before he dies, and that might just become a meme. SpaceX launches private Cygnus cargo spacecraft to the ISS. That's a lot of alliteration. I like it. And watch SpaceX launch private cargo spacecraft to the ISS on Jan 30. So I guess we are beyond the week mark now. And like I said, Ingenuity has retired. Japan's slim moon probe landed on its nose. Virgin Galactic is doing commercial space flights. Japan tried to revive the slim lander and had a little bit of success with that. And just like ISRO's Chandrayaan 3, if the solar panels manage to gather enough energy, then maybe the rover and the lander will manage to give us some more insights about the moon, on which my sci-fi book An Android Awoke is based. So do check it out. I will try and leave the link in the description. Like one of my viewers reminded me, roasted chicken, shout out to you. I forgot to put the link in the description last time, but I corrected that. Re uh, there was a word that I was looking for there, but it's slipped out of my mind. And that's it, I guess. This is it for this week's space update. Thank you so much for watching, and do check out my book, my raps, rhymes, videos, Advitya having fun with life and everything that, life, the universe, and everything. Which brings me to Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And it's always nice to see that some like-minded people do share my passion, not just for space exploration but for living life to the fullest as it is. And 6Rsm, of course, is what I live by. So do check out what I mean by that. 6Rsm, of course, is existentialist humanism. And if you're not aware of that, take a bite out of my channel and look for those videos in which I explain them to you. That might take some time and it might be a little uh, deep digging, but what do we do when we have free time? We lurk around on the internet. So thank you so much for watching and smash that sub button for awesome Max Fun. I'm Aradhya from India, and this has been the weekly space update. Thank you so much for watching. At the last moment, I had something in my mind and it just slipped out. Don't you hate it when that happens? That a couple of seconds ago, there was something I wanted to share which I forgot. Well, the mind is a devious place, and when you dig inside your own mind, you're bound to come up with surprises. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and namaste. Take care and stay safe. This, I hope, is going to be a great weekend for everybody on earth. Of course, some of us are more privileged than others, and I hope that we can appreciate that and enjoy our lives as much as we can. Hashtag 6Rsm, hashtag Akshat. Good night.